Hello and welcome to Nikolai's Genetics Lessons. In this video I'm going to talk about mutations, what cause mutations, and about natural selection. And also I'm going to provide some statistical information. So as usual, I recommend you to stop video here, read the questions, answers, choose your correct answers, and when you would be ready you can run video again and you can compare your answers with my answers and explanations. So here is the first question: most known human mutations, and here is three answers to choose from. Answer A are caused by radiation, answer B appear to be spontaneous, and answer C are due to viruses. For those of you who is confused which answer to choose, because on the first glance all of them can be the main reason for mutations. So let's consider each answer in turn. So answer A are caused by radiation, and this is true that radiation is one of the main causes of mutations in cells. Radiation actually can kill cells, but small amount of radiation can cause mutations in the cell. And skin cancer, for example, are caused by solar radiation or ultraviolet. And for example, among all the cancers, skin cancer would share top 5. Other cancers that share this top would be breast and lung cancer and colon cancer. So should we choose this answer, or should we choose answer C, are due to viruses? Because as you may also know that some of the cancers also can be caused by viruses that penetrate into the cell and insert their DNA into the human DNA and may disrupt some of the genes that may lead to also cancerous state. But actually the correct answer would be B. So most of the human mutations appear to be spontaneous. Imagine that we have 10 trillion cells, and each cell would have full set of chromosomes, so full genome would be represented in each cell. During lifetime of people, each cell would divide many times. So can you imagine how many mistakes can arise during such divisions? But actually our organism is very efficient to eliminate such mistakes, but some of them would still go through unnoticed, and most of them would be silent mutations, so they wouldn't cause any changes in our organism and wouldn't lead to problems and diseases. And some of them would disrupt work of some genes or regulatory sequences of these genes and would lead to cancer. But as you see, most of the mutations appear to be spontaneous, and we don't notice them because most of them just harmless. So next question: in order for a mutation to be selected for or against by natural selection, ordinarily it must, and once again we have three answers to choose from. Answer A, be a gross chromosomal rearrangement or an irregular number of chromosomes. Answer B, occur in the genotype. Answer C, to be expressed in the phenotype. So let's consider each answer in turn. To be a gross chromosomal rearrangement or an irregular number of chromosomes. And as you know, there is not so many genetic disorders that caused by rearrangement of chromosomes, or that is due to odd number of chromosomes. For example, trisomy 21, that we know as Down syndrome. There also can be trisomy of the sex chromosome. For example, the genotype can be XXY or XXX or XO, or other different rearrangements of the sex chromosomes, for example XYY, and so on. But actually there is not so many such genetic disorders. Those, for example, plants would better tolerate such rearrangements and even allowed whole genome duplication, so we can find plants who is triploid, and you probably used to eat such plants almost every day. For example, watermelons, seedless grapes, pears and apples. And they also can be tetraploid, hexaploid and so on. But with animals like we humans, we don't usually tolerate such conditions very well, and this causes very serious problems. And in most cases that would lead to self-abortion or miscarriage. So we can cross out this answer. And next answer, B occur in the genotype. This answer looks like a correct one because this is absolutely true that in order for a mutation to be selected for or against by natural selection, it ordinarily should occur in the genotype in the first place. But as I already said, answering the first question, most of the mutations that occur in the genotype are silent mutation, only just due to the fact that 98% of our genome doesn't code for proteins, and usually if there is any mutations in this 98% of the genome, that means that this wouldn't lead to any phenotypical changes. So answer C, to be expressed in the phenotype, means that such a mutation would change phenotype. So what is a phenotype? Phenotype is such traits that we can see. For example, tallness, shortness, body weight, or speed of reaction. So there are many traits that can be changed. And of course, natural selection should be able to work on such traits in the first place. So if we have some variation in a group or in community, some of the representative can be better suited for environment than the others. So frequency of such phenotype would increase in the following generations. And we can say that genotype is a broad meaning, and phenotype would be narrow sense meaning. So we cannot just say that such mutation should occur in the genotype, but we also can say that it should be expressed in phenotype. So in phenotype and genotype. So our choice would be answer C. So in order for the natural selection to work for or against some trait, it should be expressed in the phenotype. And of course, such changes should occur on the genotype level also. But answer C would be more correct one because it's more narrow sense answer. And this is all for today. Thank you for your attention. Please subscribe for my new videos that I post almost every day. Thumbs up if you like this video. Please write your comments, questions if you have any, and see you in the next video. Goodbye.